Began, it just seemed like heaven, so I did it. And do you remember back and forth? We again after all day long. Do you remember us holding hands in each other's eyes? Stand. Tell me, do you remember the time when we fell in love? You remember the time when we first met, girl?
In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to these TikToks I came across through TikTok, and it's just titled What Happened to Aaliyah. And I came across part 2, and I've heard some information in part 2 that I've been trying to tell people for the longest, and it's just something that I've been speculating. So without further more to say, like, comment, and subscribe, turn on your bell post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I drop a video. Let's get right into it.
And it looks like Aaliyah could finally get her justice in 2023.
When Aaliyah died for a wrongful death, he got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV?
Dame Dash and other people who were close to Aaliyah are starting to speak out on all the shady things about Aaliyah's death, and fans want to see this case reopened in 2023.
What's up? This is Beyoncé on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here.
Before we continue, I also want to call it now. I could be wrong. I personally feel like there is something going on behind closed doors. Everyone's trying to speak out. Everyone's throwing everyone under the bus. Aaliyah's Pop the Mess album has been put on hold. Maybe there's something going on behind closed doors that's frightening these people who knew Aaliyah and are making them want to speak out against each other so that they will not have anything to do with it when it comes to fruition. So I'm calling it now. I could be wrong, but I'm calling it now.
Miss Aaliyah, how you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you.
You too. She's just looking fabulous.
Thank
what are you
you.
wearing tonight?
I'm wearing Gucci shoes, Gucci. Got a little Indian jewelry right
Oh,
here.
that is hot.
The plane crash that killed a rising star in the world of music and film. Reaction today after Aaliyah and 8 others were killed when their plane went down.
The plane, just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather, suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying...
I personally think that there was a bomb on Aaliyah's plane. That's what I'm going with. It looked like a bomb exploded. I definitely don't think it was because of luggage. I don't think it was because of Aaliyah and her crew being hard-hit. I don't think it was because of the pilot either. There was definitely some type of explosive on that plane.
One of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress.
Celebrities being conspired against is old news, but the latest one involving our beloved Beyoncé has shaken the fans to the core. The pop queen has been associated with the wrongful death of her fellow R&B queen, Aaliyah Dana Houghton. The force of nature and epitome of talent met a tragic death when her plane crashed in the Bahamas. The loved ones are speculating that Beyoncé and other big names were pulling strings to eliminate the angle to make way for Beyoncé's fame.
No, I don't think Beyoncé had anything to do with this, and I will always feel this way. It's possible with him. She was hanging out with him some weeks before she died, basically. But I don't think Beyoncé had anything to do with Aaliyah's death. She had no reason to kill Aaliyah.
Various details regarding the case have emerged in recent years that point to the foul play. Many fans now demand that the investigation should be reopened to give Aaliyah her due justice. So let's get into the details to better understand this twisted case. The princess of urban pop was a huge treasure to the music world. Her career started when she was just 10 years old in her debut song, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, and her popularity went uphill ever since. Sadly, the singer left this world with all her talent on August 25, 2001. We have some details of the accident to share that were released at that time.
Aaliyah had a huge following not only here in New York City, but nationwide. Only 22 years old, this pop sensation was a popular singer. She was an actress in some movies recently, even a Grammy nominee. Tonight, her family is in mourning, fans asking, why her?
Her fellow stars and staff were also shocked and aggrieved by the news of her death.
Aaliyah was my best friend. She was a beautiful person on the inside and out. And
You could just see the hurt in that friend's eyes.
Just shocked.
The case was not as simple as they made it out to be, and the foul play at work was unbelievably huge. The plane crashed soon after takeoff, even though the weather was perfect. Later, it was found out that 6 people in total lost their lives in the incident, and the pilot was found to be drugged along with the actress. The taxi driver, Kinsley Rosso, stated,
Russell claims Aaliyah had repeatedly refused to board the plane, so she was given a sleeping pill after telling her team that she had a headache and wanted to take a nap.
Did you hear what he said? She refused to board the plane, and so she went back to the taxi cab where she later said she had a headache, and he just mentioned Fatima's name. And I've been saying this, I feel like Fatima could have slipped her that pill. Fatima was the closest out of anybody that went down there with her. You got to add the pieces together. It was a fun fact that said that Aaliyah would go stay nights at Fatima's house, or Fatima would stay nights at Aaliyah's house. It went something like that. And I'm just like, okay, well, if they're staying the night together, Aaliyah would trust her with medicine. I think Fatima gave her that pill. That's how I feel. I feel like everybody played the role, but Fatima is weird. And when I heard this, I'm like, I've been saying this. Now, I'm not going to get the big head and say that everything I say is always true, but most of the things that I talk about end up coming out. It's a feeling that I get, and when I have a feeling, I say it. And I feel like Fatima gave her that pill because I don't feel like she was that close to Derek, Lee, and all the other ones as much as we think she was. I do think she was close to Eric Foreman. They were good friends. I don't think Eric Foreman gave her that pill. It had to be somebody she was comfortable with. She was really comfortable with Fatima. Fatima was comfortable with the mom. They would consult in dance moves. I always had my eye on Fatima, especially when I heard that they drugged Aaliyah and put her on that plane. I think it was Fatima. Fatima just seems like a witch to me.
Singer then fell asleep in the back of the taxi and was carried onto the plane while unconscious. It stated that it was, however, not clear as to whether the singer knew that the pill she had been offered was a sleeping pill and not something to treat a headache.
Well, things got more suspicious as the investigation went on. The name Hype.
She had to trust somebody to be giving her pills. It was orchestrated by a lot of people. I'm not dumb. And it's funny too how Fatima didn't get on that plane with her. Or Derek Lee.
Hype Williams gets associated with Aaliyah's death a lot, and for a good reason as well. The star revealed in an interview on BET 106 in the Park that Hype Williams will be directing her new music video, Rock the Boat. At that time, it was decided that it would be a green screen based recording with few underwater shots. But everything went awry when Hype changed the location to the Bahamas. A big question remains unanswered. If beaches were so important, why did it
I think that Barry Hankerson or maybe even her mom hit up Hype Williams to have them fly her out to the Bahamas to finish the video. No one went with her, including her parents and her brother. Why did Hype Williams feel the need to take it all the way to the Bahamas? I think somebody paid him to take her to the Bahamas and get this done. It could have been the uncle. He received all that money and didn't even think about splitting it with the parents. Somebody changed the courses.
Williams choose one in Miami? The fans even speculate the situation, saying, why did Hype Williams move the shoot to the Bahamas when they were already in Miami filming and using green screen? Was it a ploy to get her to travel alone since she always traveled with her mom or brother? He also accompanied Left Eye to Honduras, where she tragically passed. Not only the fans, but Angel's fiance at the time, Damon Dash, has also come forward with his own take on the situation. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, he recalled his conversation with the Princess of Pop.
I just thought that it wasn't necessary. You know, I knew that that was going to happen. And then when she actually saw the plane, she, we had the Blackberries, and she said, I don't like this plane. And I was like, well, don't get on it. And she was like, well, I got to because I got work to do.
Along with Damon, fans have also expressed similar concerns. Listen to an interview with Dame Dash. He said Aaliyah didn't want to get on that plane. Lenny Kravitz offered her a private jet to take instead. Hype Williams took the jet instead of her and had her take that little plane that ended up crashing, SMH. Now, you might be wondering, what could be the intention behind Hype's actions? And why is he being suspected at all? Well, former Black Round record associate Ayatollah Marv revealed that Williams did receive a big reward after the star's alleged accident.
You can't tell me that Damon didn't know what was going on. He's a liar. I don't even think that Aaliyah and Damon were gonna get married. I think that's just something he's throwing out there to make himself look. He did not love her. And it's probably to take the attention off of him being so in love with Rachel Roy. But it's believable because Aaliyah did seem in love with him. And it's probably because she was private too. He could get away with saying this. Her parents have never spoke anything about this.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust. Now it's drowning in our lives. I know we're broken up, you know the feelings deep inside. So what's you, what we've been through?